when the century turned, when the millennium turned, no great surprise, I suppose, I was frequently asked, will you lecture us on 21st century leadership? Implicit was the virtual organization, the internet, and so on. You know, I need the money. I said, sure. But what I did do when I would walk into the room is I would say to them, every time I'm here, I'm a charlatan. Because the reality is, leadership in the 21st century AD is exactly what it was in the 21st century BC. Leadership is about the development, the inducement of people to grow, to go way beyond where they believed they could go. Nothing has changed. I'm going to write a book soon. It's called Nothing Has Changed. Of course, the world is very different in the age of internet, but they thought the same darn thing when the cars came along. They thought the same darn thing when the trains came along. They thought the same darn thing when the canals came along. But the leadership thing, it's Robert Greenleaf 25 years ago wrote a magnificent book 30 years ago called Servant Leadership. I just passed it by. I picked it up about a year or two ago and I said, wow, this is it. The essence of the leader is to induce people to grow, to go. When you look at a football team, a coach and a quarterback, when you look at a ballet company, the choreographer and the dancer, the magic is when the dancer and the quarterback is shocked by how much they have grown as we worked together. And I, the leader, am shocked at how much they have grown. Robert Altman won the Lifetime Achievement Oscar about 3 or 4 years ago, died immediately thereafter, alas. But Mr. Altman said, and I actually wrote this down in pencil while he was doing his acceptance speech, he said, the role of the director is to provide a space where people can become, where actors and actresses can become more than they ever dreamed of being. Now, you say Hollywood, I say everybody. The same thing exactly is true with a housekeeper in a hotel, with a junior accountant in the finance department. And so I once said that leadership is about painting portraits of excellence. Napoleon said it better than me, no surprise. He said a leader is a dealer in hope. On my wall, in my writing room at home, are 2 and only 2 pictures. Winston Churchill, 1940, as the Battle of Britain began. Franklin Roosevelt, 1933, in the midst of the Depression. Why are they there? Roosevelt was a lousy economist, as have been almost all of our presidents. Churchill was no great military strategist, most would agree. But what did they do? In 1933 in the United States and 1940 in Britain, Mr. Roosevelt, Mr. Churchill made people believe that the sun would come up the next morning. It's what Rudy Giuliani did for 18 hours on 9/11 and changed the perception of millions of people and the perception of him. That's what it is all about.